Good morning to you. Welcome to your Monday. It is the 8th day of November for 2021. I'm Dan Gresham in Mikasa this morning. Hope you had a great weekend. I know, like all weekends, you wake up on Monday, it's kind of like, where did it go? They are fast forward. It's especially true when you're changing times, when you're going from daylight to standard. I I know that I'm going to struggle with this for several days. I don't know about you. And it's not so much that, some people say, it's depressing. To me, the struggle is just it's just strange. The sunlight doesn't match what I expect the time to be. Last night, 4:30, it was like, wow, is it just me or is it already starting to get dark outside? And by 5:30, it was dark outside. 5:45, it was dark. And then this morning, of course, when you go to work in the middle of the night, it doesn't change. Dark is dark, right? But what was weird was coming out of the studio just a couple of minutes ago, walking outside and feeling like it was already 11 o'clock in the morning. When you look, I mean, the sun, it's just like it's midday almost feeling. That's going to take a while to get used to it, but don't dally. Do you ever wonder exactly how long are the time periods now between, how long are we standard and how long are we daylight? Let me show you real quick. Here are the dates. We just started Sunday, November the 7th, and we will stay in standard time until Sunday, March 13th. So that is your next calendar time target date, Sunday, March 13th. You have plenty of time to get accustomed to the idea of sunset by the time if you get off at 5 o'clock, by the time you get home, it's dark. Now, I'm also going to ask, you have a chance to, we always do this to comment on what's happening here on our live Facebook post and our YouTube post. What's your take? I mean, do you like or dislike? Or are you one of those people who say, I don't care which one it is, I just don't want to change it anymore? Pick one, let's stay with it, whether it's standard time or daylight time, but just pick one. Or are you one of those people who kind of enjoy a little bit of change? It's kind of like, okay, this is kind of the signal to me that, we're now into winter as opposed to that summer feeling all year round. You can let me know. All you got to do is comment at the bottom of the page, just like you would any other Facebook post. Let me show you what I'm talking about, because I can see your post. I know what you're saying. For example, Loretta's up this morning. Hi, Loretta. It's good to see you this morning. Also, the Hardin County Live Report. Good morning to you folks. Marie Jackson, good morning. Mary is here this morning. Joetta. Hi, Joetta. Sheila, I don't know what to say about our Baylor Bears, but they were not very spectacular over the weekend. I had high hopes, but they lost to TCU. But hey, we'll bounce back. It'll all be good. And yes, Sheila, we do miss you here in Beaumont, but we hope you're enjoying the Hill Country. And I would love to come and visit. Watching from Groves. Hi, Kenneth. Hope your day is off to a good start. Lloyd Briggs having a cup of coffee with us this morning. Marguerite, good morning. Tom watching up in Frankfort, Illinois this morning. It was kind of a cool start here, Tom. I'm sure it was cooler there, but it was nice here this morning. Also, Mary says, nice. I enjoyed waking up like this. And Loretta says, I like daylight saving time. There you go. I get it. A lot of people, and of course, you may have heard me mention it last week, 19 states have already moved proposals and or had some kind of proposition in effect that said, we want to stay in daylight time, not standard time, daylight time. But this is a federal issue, not a state issue. So with the exception of Arizona and Hawaii, and I think there's some part of Illinois, maybe, that doesn't change. But other than that, everybody else is going to be changing. So we'll get accustomed to that as we move forward. One thing that hasn't changed is our need to keep you updated on what's happening in the headlines. One other item I wanted to hit on real quick before I move on this morning. A lot of you contacted us at KFDM, angry yesterday. Maybe you have friends, Dallas Cowboy fans. How dare you not show the Dallas Cowboys and instead show the Houston Texans? And people won't buy this, but it's really the truth. We didn't have any choice in the decision. Those decisions are made by the networks. And when you're in a geographic location that you're close to Houston, you're going to show the Texans. If both teams, the Texans and the Cowboys, are playing on Fox, you're going to be showing the Texans. You don't get a choice. That's the network. Hopefully it happens every year. We're, flooded with comments every year. And to those who are asking, yes, we're still experiencing some of those technical issues that we've been going through for weeks now after a ransomware attack. And we certainly hope that we can get more and more of those resolved moving forward. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is. We don't have much we can do about that at this moment. What we can do, we're trying to affect, believe me. Also this morning, let's see who else. Marguerite says, I like the longer daylight. I'm up early anyway. Time change doesn't matter. I know what you're saying. Betty says she likes the daylight. And again, I think if you took a popular poll, probably most people would say, they would much prefer that. All right, so let's get to it. Let's get you a look at what's happening in your headlines this morning, things you need to know before you get out the door. For example, this morning, developing here locally, it looks like Jefferson County may have a compromise worked out in dealing with jail inmates from both the city of Beaumont and Port Arthur. This has been going on for years. It really has. And now they're saying they've reached a point where the county says we cannot continue to carry this financial load. We need some help. So apparently, according to Jefferson County Judge Jeff Brannett, the county has agreed to a grace period while they work out this compromise, and that it will be on the agenda for Commissioners Court meeting tomorrow. And they will consider a number of different options. So we'll see where that goes. We'll certainly keep an eye, and we'll be there for that story, and we'll have it updated for you tomorrow. Also this morning, Houston Chronicle, and just wanted, of course, to address the story that happened in Houston where you had eight people die in the wake of this concert by Travis Scott. This story by Brian Hyatt goes into detail about the fact that the warning signs were there, apparently, is what they're saying. But that the people who ran, the promoters, those who were there doing security, were not prepared for what happened. And, one thing, I don't know about you, one thing that I have learned, through life experience is I can never keep up and I will never be current, as far as music, as far as social trends go, because that's not my generation. That I was current when I was the kid, right? And you were too. But as time goes on, it's trying to be, I always, when I hear people trying to speak the language of, people to a generation younger than them, it just kind of sounds out of place. Yeah, I want to be familiar. I want to have an idea. I know who Travis Scott is. I've never listened to his music. I know who he is just based on social media and based on current culture. And I know a little bit about his past simply because this is not the first time that Travis Scott has had problems with crowd control. But at the same time, I wouldn't pretend to know his music. I don't. But nonetheless, I say that because that's a way to understand when you say, well, I just don't understand how the crowds could be out of control like that. That's because you've never been to one of those concerts. I understand that it is a pretty wild scene at almost all their concerts. But this one obviously got out of hand and became a real problem. So we'll continue to follow that story and see what they have to say about it as far as what they may do moving forward. Plus this morning, if you're one of those people, you're just like, oh, I can't believe they're going to do this mandate. They're going to make people get the COVID vaccine if they don't want to. USA Today, along with everybody else, reporting that the vaccine rules for big businesses have been temporarily blocked by a federal appeals court. And one of the states that was in that petition was, of course, Texas. And I'll be interesting to see how far this goes, because there are a lot of people, a lot of health experts who are now saying we may be on the cusp or the edge of the very, beginning stages anyway, it's so weird to say that, beginning stages of the end of the pandemic, but that's exactly what some of the health experts are saying now. That's where we are at the beginning point of the end. You certainly have to hope that is true. Let me see if I can make a move here so I can get back to where I need to be. Well, I don't know where we've gone, but hopefully we're still streaming here. And if that's the case, bear with me as we move forward this morning because I can't see what's going on. I'll leave you with one more story and we'll be out of here this morning. How about that? There you go. U.S. drops travel ban. It's about to get a whole lot busier at a lot of places across the country. So be watching for that. All right, I'm going to go take care of some technical issues. Thanks for dropping by this morning. You have yourself a terrific day, and we will talk again soon.